Hi everyone, it's me, Miss Louderback. I'm going to walk you through your learning today. And after our Kahoot practice, if you joined the class live, we're going to be looking at trade-offs today. So we're going to consider all three of our best designs that you've created with the Tsunami Alert project. And then you'll look at all three, kind of think about which one is considered like the ultimate best by looking at trade-offs. Sometimes you're not going to get the best outcome for all three criteria right off the get-go or even at all. So you have to make considerations of maybe I can let go of the price if it gives me an extra sensor to get all the warnings received so that they can get to safety in time. So we'll be looking at that. Bell ringing. The other thing we're going to be looking at is, ultimately understanding your best design, because we're going to start our next writing piece the following day. And then I have an optional bonus activity for you if you are stuck at home because you're quarantined, need something to do. Find an old box, some markers and pennies, and try to make your own seismograph. So in your Google Classroom, I've given you the last two slides of our notebook. The first one is design goals. I initially did not give you this to start with. And you knew you had to have a good warning time, all warnings received, false alarms, and a 50-year cost. But I did not tell you the specific parameters. I wanted you to kind of get an idea of what might be good for you and what might be good in reality for Sri Lanka. So ideally, we want our average warning time to be 60 minutes or more. So you're going to go through your designs and you're going to compare. So my little design here was 63. So I'm going to take my little check mark here and I'm just going to drop it right in there. All warnings received. So I go to my information. Yes, all warnings were received. So I'm going to put that in over here. Okay. False alarms, 0 to 1. I have 4 false alarms. That's not good information. So I'm not going to put a check there. We want our false alarms to be 0 to 1. And then total year cost to be under $40 million. And my cost was 110. So I didn't do very good at that either. Okay. So, it's hard to get under that $40 million mark, and to do that. So, but I got 2 out of 4, in terms of warning time and, that all the warnings were received. Really, that middle one, all necessary warnings received, that is very imperative to the learning. So here, we're going to consider the trade-off. All right. Sometimes you're not going to get all the best material, but which criteria do you think is the most important? That should we prioritize? And then you're just going to drop your little arrow where you think it is. Should it be cost? Should it be false alarm? Should it be warning time? I would probably do this based off of your best design. So for me, I would do warning time because that was my best outcome. All right. Then you want to explain in a sentence why you prioritized that specific criteria. What is the importance of that criteria? So what's the importance of warning time, minimizing false alarms, or keeping costs low? And then when you prioritize this criterion, what were some of the trade-offs? Describe what happened to the results of the other 2 criteria. So let's talk about this. So for me, in a sense, if I'm going to look at my data that I screenshot here, all right, I may talk about how, I tried to eliminate my sensors as best as I could, but the only way to get a yes with a high warning time is I had to use the expensive deep water sensors. So that would be considered a trade-off. In order to get this time frame and all warnings received, I had to pay more for better quality sensors. That's an example of a trade-off. Or let's say it's a different, maybe you have a low warning time, like maybe your warning time is only 20 minutes long, but you have 0 false alarms. That might be because, move me over here, you might have 0 false alarms. That might be because you used less sensors and you used less sensors that are going to break down. So that makes a difference too in the type of sensors you use. So those are the considerations you have to consider. And that's kind of hard a lot for middle school kids to kind of think about those trade-offs. Did you have to sacrifice one of your criterias here in order to get a check mark, in order to get a yes? And if so, what did you have to make changes to? That's what we're looking at. You're welcome to do like one last, now that you have this design goal, you're welcome to try to get one last attempt to get an ideal perfect setting. Know that if you do get a better goal setting here, you will have to redo one of these data sheets. Just copy and paste from before and make it design number 4. But what we're going to do the following day is we're going to take our best design, we're going to take our trade-off information, and we are going to write a proposal to the people of Sri Lanka on why you should pick why they should pick your best design. So I hope you're doing well. If you're still having problems getting a good design, please reach out to me. I would love to help you any way I can, and take care of yourselves. So bye.